In this video, we are covering TradingView. This is going to be a deep dive video. One thing I must point out, there is no button that you click that will break it. So I strongly recommend just test it out, click on buttons, see what you see. In this video, we're going to see all the stuff that we see on the left, also on the top, and then also on the side. Now I'm currently using TradingView on the desktop app. All you have to do to get this one, instead of being on the browser, just search TradingView desktop. It'll take you to the TradingView website, and then there will be a download for the actual desktop version. Now let's come over here to the left, and as you hover, you see that there's a little arrow that comes out. This gives you different options. We have the cross, dot, arrow, eraser. If you have the star next to it, and you can see that a star comes up, if you click on this, you're going to notice that on my floating toolbar, it's going to be added. So these are all my favorites. So if I go to the dot, I click on the star, it's now here on my favorites. To remove it, all you have to do is uncheck the star and it goes away. Now for this one, I absolutely love the trend line, the ray tool, and there's also, you can see that there's shortcuts. So for Alt T is my trend line. Then I love the ray, horizontal ray. The vertical line, I just use the shortcut Alt V. And then here you have this as well. This is my favorite one. And then if you have other favorites that you like, you can just put a star and you'll be on your floating toolbar. Come over here. Here's some more. We have different patterns. We also have the infamous head and shoulders. Now I do want to show you something on the head and shoulders before we continue. If you click on this one, you have to find the head and shoulders. This is a very ugly head and shoulders. So I'm just going to draw it over here. So we're going to go and we're clicking on the bottom. We're going to click on the top. We're going to click on the bottom. We're going to click on the top for the head. Going to click on the bottom, and you can see that this line comes out. When the line matches up, then it shades in the section. So let's say our head is right here. We have a shoulder right here, and then it comes down to this. Now you can see that all of this is shaded in. Now the way I have it shaded in, I'm going to move this over and put this on the bottom. The way we have this shaded in is now we have this where it gives us a bunch of different options. If we click on this, once again, you can't break it. So I tried, believe me. You can go ahead and click on any of these. Now I strongly recommend use a contrasting color. So if you have a dark background, use a light color. Don't use a dark blue or purple or dark gray, because it's just much easier to see with the light colors. Then the opacity, we can see if we lower the opacity, this does the line. So I want the opacity at 100. Here for the fill, we have different colors here. We also have this option to create a custom color with this plus sign. And then you can also reduce or increase the opacity. Now you never want to hide your price action. So I strongly recommend having a very low opacity. And then if you want to create a color, all you do is click on this, select anywhere in here, or if you have the code for the color you want, you can have the code in there and then just hit add. Next we have text. For the text is this part right here. So I do have it in black and I have it the full opacity. You can see how it goes up and down. And now we have the thickness of the actual line. So if I change this to a 1, it changes. If I change this to a 4, it gets really thick. So for me, I like mine for a 2. Here you have your settings. So once you click on the settings, it shows all the, wherever you clicked on your points, it shows the price. Here we can go to style. And for the label, we can change this. I do have mine for black. And then the border, if you change this, you can see how it changes everything. And then the background, same thing. Here we go. We can change this as well. So this is pretty much how all of them work. You can have the text bold or not bold, also italic. I strongly recommend saving whatever you do. I recommend saving this, and you can save this as whatever you like. This is one of my old ones, but you can save it whatever you like. You can have as many as you like too. Now this all depends on what TradingView membership you have or tier. Do you have the free version? Do you have the paid version? What level of the paid version do you have? Depends really if you can do a bunch of these features that I'm going to show you. I personally have the top tier version. Now you don't need that. I have it just because I have a lot of alerts that I do. If you want to delete it, you can hit the trash can. If you want to have this in front or back of your price action, You click on these three dots, visual order. You can bring it to front, or you can bring it to back, or you can you do these two. I normally just either bring it to front or bring it to back, but you do have these other options. And again, you cannot break it. So go ahead and click on it, see what it does. And let me go ahead and delete this. You can also lock it too. Now, if you lock it and you try to grab it and move, it won't move. So this is really helpful when you have trend lines, when you have fib retracements, and you're moving your chart around a whole bunch. You won't be moving the actual drawing that you did. Now, let's say we don't have this lock and we move it by accident. This could be anything. This could be a trend line, horizontal ray, whatever it is. So you move it by accident. Oh, I moved it. And instead of trying to fix it where it was at, well, let's say we moved it way over here by accident. There is a undo button, or you can do Control Z, or you can just come up here. And there's also a redo button. And the shortcut is Control Y. And that redoes the where you just had it. So let's go and delete this. My favorites, the long position, short position. I really don't use this too much, so I'm actually gonna take this off. We have different ones now. If you don't know what they do, click on it. See, what does this one do? Why is this one my favorite? Well, if you click on it, nothing happens. But if I click here and I draw this out, let's say way over here, it copies this price action. Now, this is really good to see if possibly, let's say it has a repeating pattern, and then we can do something like this. So this might be my thought process of what might happen. So this is a really cool feature, and especially when it plays out, it's really cool. Oh, one thing I do want to show you. So all this is down here. So if I were to do this again, one thing I want to show you is whenever you move this, your options come up. You can come over here to your fill, adjust the opacity, which we mentioned before. Same thing with the settings. You can change this. I leave this here. You can also mirror this. You can also flip it. So there's different options you can do. In addition to that, you can also save the template, save as, and save it whatever name you want, or apply defaults. We're going to say okay because we didn't change anything, but we can also get the handle and adjust it as we like. So this, in my opinion, is pretty cool because let's just say you don't think that it's going to go all the way like this. You think maybe it'll come because of the tight range you may be seeing. So you can also adjust it. Next one is this right here. My brush is my favorite. You have a highlighter, you have arrow markers. There's a bunch of stuff here. I absolutely love this. I use this quite a bit. Of course, I use this quite a bit as well. And then, there's other ones too. Now, I like using this. So for the elliptical tool or ellipse tool, you click and then you can draw to the left or to the right. You click again, so I'm doing it to the right, and then now I extend up. Now, I have this here. I can come over here, change whatever I need to, change the fill if I want to. If I have my fill a little bit darker, in case there's price action behind it, you can still see the price action, but you can see whatever I have in front. Here is the text. Here is the thickness. And then for the settings, here we have the same options. For text, I could put whatever I want inside this circle. Now I already have templates. And for this, we're going to do 50%. It's in bold. And then if I need to adjust this, we can say 50, 54%, 55%, whatever you want. And then it types it in here. Click OK. Once you type this out, you can also shrink it, condense it. You can also change the font size. So right now the font size is 20. If I want to make it 16, I can. If I make it larger, let's go to 32, it gets cropped. So now what you have to do is click and extend it. So now you can see the fullness of this. Now I do recommend, of course, you don't want to make it too big as far as your circle goes. So let me just change this back to 20, and then I can just adjust the size. So this is really good as far as entries and showing what you want to do as far as enter. You can also have a circle and say now, enter now. Then have another circle, add to entry. So that's just different options. Then you come over here. We have text. There's other stuff on here. Now, TradingView does updates. So this might change by the time you see this video, depending on how long it takes for you to see this video. So these things may change. There may be more, some may be removed. So just to let you know, of course, these are my stars as well. And let's see here. I don't know what this is. Insert a link to the tweet. Last time I did this video was a few years ago, and this stuff wasn't here. Idea, what is this? Insert a link to the idea. So I guess you can put links in here. So let me just throw in my YouTube link. Let's see what it does. What did it do? It didn't do anything. So right now, idea, insert a link to the idea. I don't know what this is. I've never clicked it, never needed to, but obviously I did something because I don't know if it posted it to my page. All right, so I'm not sure what it did. The way I checked my page was I came over here to my little icon, and you have to be pretty much on it for it to click. Then you go to your name, you go to profile, and then of course here you have your billings and other stuff here. So I'm going to go to profile. There's also help. You can ask for help. You can create a ticket. I'm going to show you another area for you to do a ticket as well. Notifications. And then there's this as well. And then there should be an area for it to be in dark mode. I'm not sure where that's at. We'll probably find it somewhere later on. And then keyboard shortcuts. If you want to know all the keyboard shortcuts, you click on this and it'll show you all of them. We can see I have some followers. I'm following some people. These are all of my posts that I've done throughout the years. And then I don't have any scripts. I've been doing this for 4 years now. And then here are my links. And all this stuff, you can go just profile settings and just click buttons. Now, one thing it does, it opens up a new tab. So if you want to go back to where you were at, all you do is you go back to your previous tab. Now you're back. Here's some icons. Here you can do an X. Of course, you want the X to be in red. And you can do other things as well. Now, this is a ruler. Now, one thing I want to show you, if you hold down Shift and you click anywhere on the chart, you will automatically have the ruler. The thing with the ruler is that it disappears. It's not like the price range tool. So for example, I'm going to click on this. I'm going to click, and then I'm going to just move up, and it shows me how many days and also the price that it went up, the percentage. Now, once I click again, it stays there. Now, if I click anywhere on the chart, it goes away. So that's a really quick way just to not have the price range tool and then have to delete it or move it. You can just easily see. Right now I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard. I'm holding down Shift. Now I'm clicking on the chart. I'm releasing the Shift, and then I can say this one, it went up 63%, or rather we need 63% from this break to get to this level. Really quick, and then I click away and I'm done. So that can be helpful for you. Now, if you want to show your percentage, then of course you would use your price range tool, which is located over here. Anytime I click on one of my favorites, it highlights over here, so you know where I'm looking at. So let's say you wanted to show this and leave this on the chart. Well, then you do that, you click away and it stays there. Same thing with this. Everything has different options for you to do. So once again, click on stuff. Don't be afraid. You cannot break it. And then you can put text in here if you want. For example, I have one that's on, says YouTube. So here's my YouTube one. And there we go. Has YouTube right there. This is when I do it for my YouTube. And then click X. And then I want to delete that. Here we have zoom in. I don't do this, but let's say you wanted to look at this area. So what you do is you click and you drag, and then now you're zoomed in. Now, one thing that they used to do, TradingView used to do, but they no longer do it due to an update. When you used to be far away from the current price, there used to be double arrows that used to come up, but those arrows don't show up anymore. So one pro tip that I would recommend, lower left-hand corner, here is a calendar. You can click on this, and then the current date is this, and then just say go to, and it takes you right back to where you were at. So that's a pro tip in case you're way over here, you're doing your levels, and then instead of having to go all the way back over, you come over here, and then you go to, and then there you go. Now, if anybody knows a shortcut besides what I just did, make sure to send that to me in either a DM or put that in the VIP group. All right, so next we have the magnet tool. The magnet tool is very important. You have an option of either a weak magnet or a strong magnet. I just leave it on whatever it is, and it's always on the weak one, and that's fine. If you want a strong one, then you can put it to the strong one. You want to know the difference, click on it, see what it does. I have the weak magnet on. Now here, I'm using my horizontal array, and I want it to, and notice that it snaps. So I have to click on it first, turns blue, and notice that it snaps in place. Now, one thing, if you're having issues with it not going to exactly where you want, you can right click on your mouse, and that way it takes away this. And then now what you could do is just zoom in, and the way you zoom in, you come over here to your price action, or rather your price on the right hand side. Your double arrows come out, you go up or you go down, and then now you use your wheel, your mouse wheel, and you scroll, and it gets larger. So now you're really zoomed in. It's extremely unlikely that you're going to miss your mark on what you want to do. So now I'm going to come over here to my horizontal array, and I want to make sure it snaps in place. I click it here, and then that's where I have. Now if I get this and I click and I'm holding it, it's moving my stuff around. So this is very important too. Then we have this, stay in drawing mode. I don't know what this is. I've never done this before. Don't use it. If you use it, great. I don't use it. Here you have lock all drawings. So this is a really quick way to lock everything and nothing will move if you drag it. Now just remember, if you're trying to move it, it's like, what's going on? Don't freak out. Look to the left, and then you just unclick it, and then now you can move it. This one, if you have a lot of drawings and you want to just see the overall price action, you can hide the drawings by doing this. It hides all your drawings, and it does all of them. If you want to hide your indicators, well, then your indicators are hidden, but your drawings are still there. If you want to hide position and orders, you can do that as well. And if you want to hide all, you can do that as well. So right now I'm going to uncheck this. That way it leaves everything there. When I'm doing stuff, I normally just hide the drawings so I can see the overall chart. And this right here is new drawings will be synced in layout. So I've never really clicked on this. New drawings will be synced globally. I don't know what this does. You can probably do a YouTube or maybe just click it and see what happens. I've never done this. So that's one thing. Now, let's say we have a bunch of drawings and we've been working really hard on this chart for a couple of hours, and we have so many drawings, it's crazy. We have folders, which I'll show you how to do that in just a bit. And we just have a whole bunch of drawings. Now, if you delete this and you have now the option, remove all 40, or just remove the indicators, or remove everything. So let's say I click on remove for all 40 drawings. It's like, oh man, no, I had stuff in folders. I completely forgot. Don't freak out. All you have to do is either this or the shortcut Control-Z, and everything comes back. So we've already completed all of this. Now I notice there's a star here, show favorite drawing toolbar, which is this. If this is in your way and you don't want to use this for whatever reason, you want to come over here and manually click on each one, you click on this and your bar goes away. You click it again, your bar appears. Now we're looking at the symbols. So for the symbols, you click here and you can start typing whatever you like, or you can just click on the chart and start typing whatever you like. And then of course, it starts doing the symbol search. Now, one thing that I love about this is that it has a compare button. Let's say we want to compare ETH. So let's go to ETH, USDT. We want to compare ETH with Bitcoin. And instead of having two charts, and of course, I'll be showing you how to do that. Right now, I'm on the drawing tool and it's drawing, and I don't want to be drawing, and I'm tired of doing, and I don't know how to get away from this. Well, what you need to do is you either need to select this, so now you can move the chart, or if you have the drawing tool on, or any tool for that matter, if you simply right click, notice this, it's in blue, it's active. If we right click, it goes away, it goes back to the default. That's very important. That's a very important shortcut that I did not know. And I'm very happy I know it now. So we want to compare ETH to Bitcoin. So we come over here to the compare tool, and now we look for Bitcoin. So we can just type in BTC, and right now I have it under crypto. You may have yours under all. I do have mine under crypto, and then I have mine for only MEXC. So I'm going to cancel that. Now this is all sources. It has Bitstamp, Coinbase, everything else. Now let's say I only trade on BingX. Well, then I can click on BingX, and only BingX coins will show up. Now, if a coin does not show up, that means it's not available on BingX, or that that coin is not in the TradingView database to be charted. If that's the case, then you just go to another exchange, but it's always best to chart with the exchange that you're trading on. Extremely important. The reason for that is because there's different people on the exchanges. So we have a certain people trading on Binance. We have certain people trading on MEXC, certain people trading on BingX. So you don't want to use Binance when you're trading on BingX, because the levels, even though they look very similar, they are different. That's a pro tip. So here I'm going to take off this, and I'll just leave it for all of crypto. And I'm going to compare it to Bitstamp. Now there's several options here. Same percentage scale, new price scale, or new pain. If you don't know what they do, click on it. You can't break it. So let's go new pain. What does it do? It makes it come down here on its own little window. So instead of actually creating, and I'll show you over here, this right here, the layout setup, it just put it in its own little window like the indicators are at. If you go, and let's go ahead and remove this. So the way we remove this is we do our drop down for our indicators, and now these come up. So now I can come over here and remove. Now let's try this again. We want to do Bitcoin, Bitstamp. I don't have to type it in because I've already done it so many times that it's already here. Let's go to new price scale. This is the one that you want. You want the new price scale, and you can do as many as you want. It just gets really messy. You can have Bitcoin, Ethereum, dominance of Bitcoin, dominance of USDT. You can total 3. You can have as many as you want on here. It gets very messy and possibly confusing. And I'll show you how to make it less confusing without doing all of them. So now we just exit out of this. Now we have 2 charts, but I can't move it. I can move this one, but I can't move Bitcoin. What we have to do is we have to come over here, double arrows come out, and now we just adjust it slightly. Now if I click here, I can move Bitcoin's chart. If I click on this one, I can move the Ethereum chart, and I can see how they match up. So here we go. This is how they match up. Now what you could also do is you could change the colors of the candles. So for me, I already have my colors changed. That way it doesn't look the same. Now, if you ever get confused on what's this one, especially if you have a whole bunch of them lined up, which one is this one? Well, if you click on it, you'll see, and let me just double check. So if you click on this, so I'm looking right here. If you click on this, this highlights. If I click over here, it doesn't highlight. Now this one's highlight. So let's go back over here. We can either double click on this to do this, changing these. You can change this as well, candles to lines or what have you. Now, whenever you use the line, it does not include the wicks. It's only the candle body closes. That's very important. I need both. I need the wicks and I need the candle bodies, because each of those levels are support resistance levels. And then of course you can just save it to default, whatever you use. So you can either double click it here, or once you click it and it's selected, you can come over here and you can go to settings, and we're in the same spot. Now let's say you have 6 or 7 or even more, and it's really confusing. What you can do, you can have them all here, go to the little eyeball, hide it, and then now you only have this one and your other 2 or 3 that you have on here. And then if you want to go back to it, you just have to make sure that you do the drop down arrow to list all the ones you're comparing, and then unhide whichever one you want to see. And of course, you know this one's Bitcoin, the next one could be XRP or whatever, and then just hide it, unhide. All right, so if you want to delete this, then you just delete it, get it off your chart. So that is the compare button. Next, we're moving on to the time frames. Now, the time frames that I prefer, this is when I'm scalping, 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minute. This is as low as I go. Now, for regular trade setups, for regular spot trades, I absolutely love the 15, the 1 hour, 4 hour, 12 hour. Sometimes I'll do these if I need to find fair value gaps on other time frames. I like looking at the 12 hour and the daily. Everything that I say is from experience. This is what's going to save you so much time, so much money, and so much effort. If you want to make money, I will show you how. I would strongly recommend getting the VIP. You're going to make money. Now, granted, none of this is financial advice. It's never hopes and dreams and empty promises, nothing like that. See what I do. See if this makes you money. I give you my real life experience based off of my trainings, based off of my teachings, what I would do at that moment versus what everybody else does, because they want to sell you their course. They want to sell you all that stuff. I show you that my stuff works. Do we win? Yes. Do we lose? Sometimes. That's part of the game. But what I do is I show you all this so that you can see, oh man, I lost today, but Joe said he lost too. So it's okay. That's what I want you to realize, guys. If you like the content that I provide, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and leave me a comment in the comment box. And I'll see you on the next video. And as always, let's make this money.